All right, so a lot of you guys know I've been messing with the EGR. Came out with the EGR mod and been messing with it ever since. So I've played with, you know, obviously the filter being sideways is one option to run it. But as you see here, we actually added a different filter. This is just memory foam, and I've been running it like that to save our filter. Cap gets pretty hot, so the EGR gets very hot. We want to test out a couple options. One option that I'd love to do is be able to manually control it with connecting it inside the vehicle, that I can put a switch that I can have it regular when I want it to, or the idle chop whenever I want it to. But I don't think the air is going to be coming through this hose enough that it's going to run, but we're going to see. So I don't know if this is enough hose to run from here into the vehicle, but we're just going to see if it even will run with this hose on. All right, so it's normal, no idle chop. We're going to go ahead and see if it will work with this hose. I'm saying no. Oh, okay, well, it works, but I think it's sucking on the outside because the hose is too big. Let's just set it like that for now, and let's... All right, we got a rubber hose here. Let's see if this will work. Okay, so it feeds through the hole, and as you can see when we press it, there, it just died. So as you can see, we can control it through the hose, but let's try a longer hose. So now let's connect it to this clear hose and see. And it actually is idling fine, even though it's running through all this hose. So we can straighten the hose out. We actually might be able to manually do this, because it's covering the hole. So let's see. So let's see if we plug it. Huh. I wonder why it's not doing anything. Yeah, kitty cat. We plugged the hole. Is it oh, it's probably because there's so much air in the line already. Okay. Let's open this up a little more. Now we're plugging it, and now it's not doing anything. Well, that's interesting. Take it off. Alright, plug it in. Maybe the hole's too big. Let's try this one. This one is a little smaller, a little thicker. There we go. That's going in a lot harder. So now we should have control. Yep, I can feel it. We got control. Now let's connect it to the clear. All right, let's see if we can connect it to the clear line. Fingers crossed. All right, it's hold on. All right, it is now connected to the clear line. Now let's see if we can control it by blocking. Yep. So, yep, we have control, but yet it's idling fine with all this line. So I think we can actually go ahead and run a line inside our cab. And then what we do is we have two of these. So where it's actually for a fuel line, but air goes in one and out the other. And what you do is you just turn this little lever here to block the airflow. So let me see if I can give you guys an example of how this works. Hold on one moment. All right, so make sure it's flowing. All right, now this might be we might have to put an adapter on here or something to get it to fit in here. So let's see, ideal would be to have a Y, and then on that Y, so the Y would stick in, which what we'll do is we'll cut this, we don't need this as long, we'll cut that, put a black end here, stick this on, make a Y, and then on two of the Ys you're gonna have one shutoff valve and another shutoff valve. We got to get another, and then one will just suck direct air through a normal filter. We'll stick a regular filter over top of that, and then the other one will have a filter half blocked for the idle chop. So that's kind of the idea, but right now we need to figure out what we want to do for here. So I got to figure that out, how I want to do this. All right, so we got a clear filter here that we can cut the top off if we need to. I just need to test this theory out. So before we run all the wire, or before we run everything, another option is a filter. So it might take a little time for the idle chop to take effect, because I believe it's still, yeah, we still have control over the idle chop. So I just have to go through all of my stuff I have here and figure out what's going to work the best. Okay, so we have it like that. So yeah, this is just all of a test, but yeah, you know, it's good to see that it goes through the hose. Yeah, so stay tuned, guys. So this is essentially how it's going to be. You got the one end connected to the EGR line. You then connected, this is a higher temp silicone, so we're going to run that for the most part over the vehicle. This is then going to run, something dropped. Uh-oh, I don't know what dropped. We don't want to lose that. That's the EGR cap. All right, let's try this again. You got the line connected to the EGR. Then you got the clear tube. We're going to run that into the cab. Then at the end of the clear tube, we use this, and we got a Y here. So the point is to hook up basically two on-off switches. I need to decide how I want to do that. If we need more black silicone, we also have this line. So we're going to use two switches, and I think we're going to use, now where in the world do I have them? Here it is. I think we're going to use these on-off switch. They're really small and handy. So we need to test it before we run the line, make sure we can get the idle chop, and make sure we can change the idle chop right away. So stay tuned. All right, so it's going to be just like this, and we're going to set this up, maybe have a box or something in the cab that's hidden. That's, you know, when you're in the driver's seat, you can simply manually connect. So we got this connected. This is the all EG line. Obviously we're going to tie it off and so forth so it doesn't come loose. Now the question will be starting it. I believe we have it. Okay, so it's on. We're going to go ahead and turn it off. So we're going to turn the one side off. So with this side off, it then should pull from here, and we're going to have a second on-off switch, and one of these is going to be open at the other end, and one's going to have a filter to kind of create that idle chop. That's kind of the whole point. So we got this little filter here. I don't think this is really going to create an idle chop, but we're going to find out. But first we're going to start it up with this being open, and let's see if it even starts, because you figure it was running when it was connected to the tube, so it's got to start with it being connected. So let's find out. Alright, it started up no problem. Let's make sure this is out so it doesn't hit the fan. So let's go. In all theory, we should be able to press this and it should stall it. Okay, so there we go. So it did stall, or it wanted to stall. I'm not quite sure why it actually didn't stall. It should have stalled because, let's see. Yep, there we go. It stalled. that means this hose is working perfectly fine. So now let's go ahead and we're gonna cap off this. I'm gonna press it with my finger and we're gonna turn this on. So this is the one that we want to have a filter on. So let's see. All right, it's capped off and it must be running through the filter fine, but we're not getting an idle chop. So that means this must be letting too much air through and it's not giving us a chop. Let's let that go. Okay, so we now know that this system is working. We just got to get this to create a good idle chop. And then this one, we're going to put the regular filter on with another on-off switch. So now the goal for me is to get an idle chop. So how we're going to do that? Well, we're going to have to see here. All right, so we got this little foam piece here. I'm thinking if we cut small enough and stick the foam piece inside here, maybe we can get that idle chop. I really wanted to kind of put like a filter, but I don't think it's gonna work out that way unless this hose is small. Oh, that may work. Hold on, guys. All right, now let's see if we can basically shove this little hose in here. I don't know if we're gonna get it in there. It's a little bit big. Just a little bit too thick to get inside. And besides, I'm not quite sure if we got it in there, if it would actually stay or not. We got this other filter, because I'm just testing out all kinds of theories. Will that work? Oh, that might work, guys. That might work, but I don't know if it's going to give us the idle chop. That's the problem. Oh yeah, we're getting that in there. Now the question is, will that give us an idle chop? So we're going to turn it off. It's not in there the greatest though. I don't like that. But it is in there enough that if we set it somewhere, it shouldn't come off. All right, let's go ahead and turn the car on. This one is off. The on-off switch is off, so the air should be coming from there. Alright, in a perfect world, if we press this and, oh no, we need to turn this one on. So let's turn that on, that's on. So in a perfect world, if we press this, I'm hoping air's gonna be drawn through here, and I'm hoping it creates the idle chop. So far not yet, maybe it'll take some time. No, as you can see, when I block that off a little bit, then it wants to stall. So that's not good enough. Obviously we need something different. So what if we stick this in here and we put it against the filter like this, or against our foam? What would happen? Because we could drill out a hole, stick this inside, have a filter at the end. Let's see what happens if we do that. So let's stick this in here, make sure it's on. Let's go ahead and kind of stick this on like this and hold it down the side. Now let's go ahead and press this. Well, ain't that strange? Ain't that just strange? Now let's try this. Okay, there we're kind of getting it, but I'm pressing pretty hard on that top. Okay, so we could get it, but I'm really pressing hard on that top. Okay, we got to figure something else out. That's not going to work because I can't be standing here holding it, and when you just push it like this and block that off, it's not enough. Maybe my theory of putting a filter inside a little piece here, maybe that would work. Let's go ahead and try that. So I don't know how that is really gonna work, because it's really, pretty hard to do. I mean, if we got something smaller that we could shove this filter in here, let's see if we can find something. And see, I don't even know if that's gonna work. I mean, that's actually shoving in there pretty well. But I don't think that's even gonna work, because we're gonna have to put this at the end, which actually now, I don't know if that holds big. Oh yeah, we can get it. So yeah, it's gonna be like that. The question is, I don't think that's gonna work. But hey, let's find out. I don't think air's, no, I don't think it's, no, it wouldn't be leaking through the side there. So let's go ahead. That's on, everything's on. Let's turn the car on. So the nice thing now would be if we tap this off, if we get the idle chop. Oh, did we get it? I'm not sure. I can't hear from over back there. We may have just got it. And look at that. So the thing would be, okay. Yeah, we may have got it. Wow. I'm not sure. It's kind of chopping from the front, but I can't hear the back. Somehow I need to block this one off. Somehow I gotta block that off so I can stand out back with you guys. I mean, I can, here, I'm gonna put the camera back there for a little bit, but I also wanna be back there too. All right, I think there's still some air coming through, but let's check the back here. All right, so we got the idle chop a little bit going on. Not as nice as I'd like it, but I'm gonna leave the camera and then we're going to take off that side and you guys are gonna hear the difference. So I'm gonna press my finger on it and hold it even more. So this is what we're hearing now, so stay tuned. Press the finger, when I press the hole with my finger, that's how it's going to sound when we do the idle chop mod once I have the valve on. So this will be the sound we get. If I don't like the sound, we can always maybe mess with that filter line that we put on. We'll see. All right, I want to actually see. I don't know if that's the best idle chop mod sound. When we put the EGR cap on, I think it sounds even better, to be honest with you. So I'm thinking, let's go ahead and put this filter on over top of it. I'm just curious to see what happens. So we're gonna put that filter over top, if we can. All right, it's not working. So we need to go ahead and make a hole. Yeah, we need to make a hole in here. So, all right, so what I did, I extended the filter. I put a much longer piece on, so now you can get an idea here. Let me show you the first one. So that's the first filter. Now you can see it's much longer. So let's see what happens with the idle chop. We're gonna go ahead and start the car up, and then we're going to, I'm gonna press the button and block it off, and it's gonna run through the idle chop mode, and we'll see if it sounds better than before. go. It's definitely a lot more, well, I'm not quite sure what I think. What do you guys think? Smaller filter, the smaller rubber filter that I made, or this? You know what's funny is I'm not smelling fumes like I used to with the regular EGR idle chop mod. It's interesting. So I need to actually get on the gas a little bit, see how it levels off, you know, when we get on it a little bit and let off. So in drive, I mean, it sounds gnarly. It sounds like it's actually cammed. I think the longer filters is better. I assume the EGR is going to get much hotter, but you know, if we don't run it all the time and we switch it over, I mean, literally, guys, what you have to understand is once I run this through the car, all we have to do is press a valve to switch it from idling normal or idling like this. That's it. So if we're you know, in still traffic and it's longer than like a couple minutes, I can swap it right over to regular. So this is how it sounds in drive. So in drive and park, there's a little difference of an idle. Obviously, I'll have to listen to it on my computer when it's in drive. Don't got anyone around here to sit and drive while I listen to the back, but the idle's gnarly though in park. I mean, in park, that's pretty gnarly. So yeah, we'll see. And like I said, so I have that one blocked off, so it's just running through this filter right here. So all I have to do is we connect a on-off valve on here. So if that's on here, then we simply turn this on, and then it draws air from this one, and this one's going to be free flow. So okay, let's say there's a valve on here now. So, and right now we have the valve turned off. Okay, you're getting that chop. What we would do is you just turn the valve on, and this is what it would do. It would free it up just like that. It would be turned on, it would be free flowing, and the exhaust back to normal. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked, guys. Pretty stoked about this. All I have to do is disconnect or just pull this, run the line through, and yeah, set it up somewhere in the car, and I'm good to go. That's gonna be for another time though. Thank you guys for watching. Hey guys, I wanted to stop and take a very quick break and ask if you guys could hit that like button on this video and also subscribe to my channel. That would mean a lot to me. It is very hard to grow these days, and if you could do that, that would mean so much to me. I really do appreciate it.